Debugged Dialogs. Let's get into it.
Hey, Harjit.
Hey,
Long time no see.
long time no see. It looks like we gotta cut this out, man. We're seeing each other too much now.
You live too far away.
Yeah, I know. But we chat every day, which is
Oh, we
amazing.
do. We do.
chat
If
every
it
day,
isn't just a text message, it's a voice chat or anything else. So yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
We goof around a lot, which is fun.
Yeah, we do. We've known each other for a long time now.
Exactly. So, anyways, welcome everybody back to Debug Dialogues, and I believe in this episode, you and I are gonna, talk about a little bit about Microsoft Intune, the
Yep.
updates that were published,
Some
throughout June.
licensing.
Yeah, some licensing and things like that.
Yep.
And we'll see what we can do. But a lot of this information is already out there, but we just want to highlight a few things. It's not going to be a deep dive or anything like that. But also note that, like, the how Microsoft releases these updates for Intune. When they call it June, end of June, doesn't mean that it's for July, right? It gets a trickle effect, right? So they slowly trickle out throughout the different regions, different tenants and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
just like every other 365 update. I mean, it depends on what ring you are, where your tenant's located, and sometimes even it could take time within your tenant. So some people
Right.
get it first, and then it hits everyone. So yeah,
exactly.
that's a whole science behind it.
There is a science behind it, and usually when you see it, I think it starts at APAC first, right, in the Asia Pacific, and then I think Europe, Middle East, Europe, and stuff like that. Then it gets to the US side or North America. So there is a science to it and how they release them.
Yeah, and then if you're in government, that's always separate. So you don't always get everything, but if you do, it probably takes a year.
Yeah, exactly. So just a few things real quick. They made some improvements in EAM, Enterprise App Management, right? Which is part of the application. That was part of the Intune suite, up to recently, and we're going to cover that a little bit. So they're adding on some automatic updates. I believe it has capabilities now to to update older versions of your applications.
Okay.
It's not, to be honest with you, it's not super great. I'm not really a big fan of EAM because the catalog is not robust enough. It doesn't have a lot of applications. It's still a little bit complicated in how you create the applications using EAM. But for those that don't have anything else, they can definitely try that, right?
It's better than nothing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, better than nothing, exactly. There's a mention about EAM reaches GCC High and DoD.
Okay, yeah, that's the government parts and GCC High as well that we briefly mentioned.
Right.
They normally have to wait a bit before they get stuff. So
Yeah, exactly. So they always have to wait, much longer actually, and to get that. So apparently that is available. macOS packaging PKG applications can now update automatically as well. So there's some improvements there. So if you're a Mac user, you can definitely check that out. One thing that really intrigues me is that they've added this called a ChatGPT now becomes a protected Intune application.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was added for Microsoft Intune again in June. I guess this allows supported Intune app protection policies to be applied to organizational data that's used within the application, right? So ChatGPT is more for
they
governance.
can govern it a bit better, yeah. Governance always comes back to governance.
Always governance, yeah. And this is the area where you focus a lot on, and and this is your thing. So yeah, so I didn't realize that ChatGPT was added as a protected app, but Sure.
No, but that's good because then you can manage it in a good way because it's not feasible to block every AI application out there. It's
Hmm.
better if you can manage it and control it. Because if you block it, they will just find another tool, and then you have the shadow IT or shadow AI issue in your environment anyway.
You're
So I
right.
mean, it's better to provide approved AI tools that has clear guardrails.
Clean
In
guardrails.
in,
Yeah.
in yeah. I mean, app protection does not prevent every type of AI related data leakage
Right.
naturally, but a policy can control how the data moves between managed and unmanaged applications in a better way. So
Right.
it never replaces the education of the users. You still need to have the change management and training of everyone, but it's always good to be able to manage it and classify it with a policy in your organization.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of things for iOS and Android management stuff that they've added. There is a what's new in Intune blog post that we will tag
Mhm.
in the episode where you guys can check all the details on it. But I'm not going to get into that. That's just too many things in there. Another thing that really stands out is multi-admin approvals uh, now applies to API calls made through Microsoft Graph. So not only to interact for interactive actions performed by an administrator, right? So before
Mhm.
multi-admin approvals were like, hey, I'm changing this thing in Intune or whatever, so you need another admin to approve it, right? It's like your guarded balances, but now it's applies to like automation things as well.
That's
So
nice.
PowerShell, Microsoft Graph, those kind of things, which is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Again, this also improves governance, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the foundation of everything.
yeah, exactly. Um, what else we got here is Win32 apps. Managed Win32 apps content now requires HTTPS.
That's good.
So which is good.
Yeah,
This obviously this particularly affects organizations that are using Microsoft Connected Cache without
yeah,
HTTPS, right? So config manager and all that has done that in the past already. So this is a change.
yep.
What else? So hold on, let me glance here quickly. The Yeah, again, there's some new Android improvements, new Android enterprise controls that are added, for settings in the Intune settings catalog. App functions programmatically. The actions that are, I don't know. There's a lot. Yeah, I'm kind of like, um, you know,
Android's always been a tough baby to manage fully.
yeah,
It's getting better though. iOS is so much easier to take charge of in an organization, but the
hmm
Androids they've always been. There's a lot of organizations that won't allow Androids because of they're so
right.
easy to side load apps in and they're harder to manage. But it's
Yep,
getting better. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
And
pro
then the other
Android
thing I
myself,
think,
so
yeah, we covered in another episode the admin control for Windows SSO prompts.
yeah.
This is coming up, and or it's already out there for you can have a registry settings to control how your SSO prompts are. This is actually stemming from a European. Uh, we talked about this, right? The
We
European,
talked about that one or two episodes ago. Yeah, about
yeah,
with the single sign on where it prompts you, do you want to sign into this app as well or all the apps? So yeah,
right. So it prompts you for every application and not
yeah,
just once you log into your device. So
yeah,
it's
and that makes, like we
European
said then,
Economic Area
yeah,
EEA
yeah, that's
requirements.
EU and the UK and some other
Exactly.
hangarounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
We that and like we said back then, that makes sense for personal devices, but in an enterprise, it just confuses everyone. And now they
Yeah.
have a setting where you can through registry keys. I think it was bypassed that in an enterprise environment, which is good.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the biggest ones, biggest change when it comes to Intune is licensing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know whether you want to jump into this, but
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about licensing. I mean,
yeah.
doing that, we're probably going to lose half of the audience because licensing is weird. And like I know, normally when I talk to my customers and they ask me licensing questions, I said, well, yeah, I can give you a probably correct answer, but normally if you ask 3 Microsoft licensing experts about licensing questions, you get 5 different answers.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
everyone is just winging it. It's weird. It's hard to get a full grasp of. But in this case, if you've got like E3 or E5 licenses, this will affect you, and it could actually save you some money in the long run.
Yeah.
Because starting, I think it was July 1st,
Yes.
Microsoft updated the E3 and E5. So yeah, the prices went up. We all know that. There was a lot of people who committed for 3 years to save money for 3 years before they get that increase. But that will hit them no matter when their deal goes out. But at the same time as they upped the prices, they also added a number of features that many organizations have been paying for separately already. So for the E3, I think they included several Intune capabilities. They included Intune Plan 2, since we talked about Intune, and also remote help. I think they added in there, which normally is in the Intune suite.
Yeah, advanced analytics.
Yeah, Microsoft Tunnel for MAM, I think.
Yeah.
Specialty device management, and also firmware over the air updates, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been buying those workloads separately, you can stop buying
these
those.
These were part
included
of the
in the
Intune
E3.
suite.
Yes,
right?
They
These
were
part of the Intune suite that you had to pay extra.
Yeah, exactly. And you could also buy Intune Plan 2 separately and stuff like that. So if you have that, you can stop paying for those if you have an E3. Just make sure you confirm it with your license provider so that it has hit you and you don't lose functionality by just quitting or retiring those agents. And if you're on the E5, you get the full Intune suite capabilities. So not just the select one. Previously, Intune Suite was an additional purchase.
It was very expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive. So even if you had the E5, and we talked about this before, I mean, when E5 was released, it was the all-included license, but then it's been watered down. But now they're actually pushing the full Intune Suite back into the E5 license, which is good. And I know a lot of customers who are paying for Intune Suite that are on the E5, so they can just stop paying for that and cancel that subscription and just stay on the E5 and get the Intune Suite features that they really use every day.
So
and
the
there you get like
includes everything that's in E3 and
the Intune Suite. Yeah, I mean
endpoint privilege management.
Yeah, Cloud PKI, Enterprise Application Management that you talked about before. So that's now part of the E5 license. So,
Cloud PKI is really up there. It's really
It's something. I mean, a lot of organizations are still using on-prem PKI servers. And I mean, if they're moving everything else to the cloud, moving to Cloud PKI, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's so easy to use it too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I talked about it with on a different office I was called with RoboPack, and but I used to create certs and stuff for servers when we used to build servers and things like that, and my previous job, and it was tedious. We had to use a third-party signing certificate, and you got to get approvals and this.
And it's a pain if you have cloud resources in cloud only, and you have an on-prem PKI server. It's hard to get that to work fully. Yeah, you need to do some magic and do syncs, and it's a pain to manage.
Yeah.
So just a friendly reminder before you just focus on the price increase. Yeah, it is a price increase naturally. I think it's $3 or $4 list price per month per user. But just take a look at what you're actually getting as well. You might find that you're already paying for the Intune Suite, like many of my clients are, or you have other add-on licenses that you simply don't need anymore. So it could potentially actually save you money.
Could
So
potentially, yeah.
it's yeah, one of those announcements that could easily get overshadowed by the pricing discussion. But for many organizations, it could simplify licensing and even reduce overall costs. So it's absolutely worth taking the time and going through your licensing structure and see so you don't pay double for anything. Because I know a lot of people do that. I mean, I had one client that were on the E3 with the E5 security add-on, and then they upgraded all their E3s to the E5, and they still paid for the E5 security add-on that's included in the E5. So I mean, it's just money in the lake that no one uses.
Oh no.
So it's easy. I mean, if you don't know licensing, you're not fully aware of how it works. It's very easy to forget to do that audit of your licensing structure before the
It
renewals,
is.
for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's costly. You're gonna like do a audit, for your in your
Every year, yeah,
to see
absolutely, every year.
what are you using? Is it
Yeah,
worth it? Are you just buying subscriptions for nothing, right?
yeah,
You may buy, 1,000 licenses, but then you're only using 100, right?
yeah. And then we're not just talking Microsoft licensing either. I mean, I would recommend everyone at least once a year or once every 2 years do a full digital landscape mapping of your environment and
Yeah,
make sure you don't have 5 different products doing the same thing.
yeah,
I mean, if you have something included in the E5 license that does the job almost as good as something else that you pay full premium for, maybe change your processes and work with the one you're already paying for instead
right,
of just buying add-ons and add-ons from third-party suppliers.
right.
Sometimes it's well worth it to actually make a change in the organization to fully utilize and get the ROI of what you're paying for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, no, this is good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, basically, what should admins do? Now for just to confirm, make sure you have the June service release in your tenant.
Yeah.
Check that 2606 capabilities are visible, things like that, right?
Yep.
And check out the app management stuff. I personally recommend third party, especially RoboPack. It's simple, easy, it's automated and integrates flawlessly with Intune, and will save you a lot of time and efforts.
Yeah.
So that's that. The ChatGPT thing is really interesting. So review that and see whether you want to add that to your existing app protection policies. Um, there's a lot of like mobile management capabilities now in 2606. So if you're a big mobile organization that has a lot of iPhones and Androids and whatever iPads and stuff like that, then this is good for you.
Mhm.
There's a lot of governance, as we brought up.
Yeah, there is absolutely, and good governance. Governance isn't just about setting policies and
No,
rules. It's about business continuity and making
yes,
sure you don't pay too much. It's a wide area, and it governs the whole workplace.
yeah,
So it's very very important.
very important. And then Windows, right? Make sure, like for July 2026, it was a huge, one of probably the largest. I think they're saying it's the largest Windows updates released till now, right?
Hmm.
It had like I think it covered like almost 600 vulnerabilities. That is insane. There was some 0 days as well, which is really really important. So I wrote a blog post about that. I'll link it into the the episode here, but definitely get that squared away real soon. So yeah, Windows updates,
Yep,
huge,
Windows updates.
and I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think did we talk about passkeys as well? They're
Oh no,
changing. They're removing stuff from the SMS and voice callback, and they're adding passkeys. And another passkey news item that they actually released just a couple of days ago was that the Entra passkeys on Windows are now finally generally available. So they went GA. It's not no longer a preview.
okay,
I think we talked about passkeys, not these in particular, but passkeys are passkeys, and
yeah.
they're becoming such an important part of the Microsoft passwordless strategy.
Yeah.
So by making the Microsoft Entra Passkeys on Windows generally available, there are quite a few things I think a lot of IT admins will like and should learn. It's not just another Windows Hello for Business thing. It's related, but it's designed for a different purpose. It's more of those
designed for a different purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
more one of
just hope
those.
that in the
No, go ahead.
future they add maybe more troubleshooting or self healing of passkeys. Like, again, yesterday, and I was trying to log back into one of my enterprise accounts, and I'm prompted for a passkey, and using my phone, and then it says, sorry, no passkey found. And you get into this loop and you say, okay, try a different method. The different method is a passkey.
Yeah.
So it just like, okay,
you can get in a loop.
So I was like, okay, no, cancel. As soon as I said cancel, then he gave me the option for SMS and the app and the authenticator app and stuff like that. So that's how I was like, oh my God, this is never ending.
Yeah. And the passkeys are important to make sure you, especially if you're on a non-corporate managed laptop trying to access a resource.
Right.
I mean, it could be a shared workstation or some other Windows device that isn't Entra joined. Up until now, those scenarios often meant you had to fall back to a password or something like that. But now you can actually expand the passwordless authentication to those devices as well, and use the Windows device on its own to create a passkey that then is securely stored in the Windows Hello location, and then you can sign in using your facial recognition or a fingerprint or a PIN, whatever, with your device being the passkey to access the corporate resource.
That's right.
So without having the password, because passwords are so insecure.
Oh my God. And it's so old. I mean, it's
and it's always on a Post-it under the keyboard if you go into an office.
Yeah. I do, honestly, I don't even know a lot of my passwords. Like,
I know, I'm the same.
I'm like authenticator app, okay, here you go, or face recognition, or something,
Yeah. One of the accounts I have at one place, they use Windows Hello and enhanced Windows Hello and FIDO keys to sign in and everything. But then you need to configure your Outlook on your mobile phone, and then they want your password, and you go,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
All right, so this is good. Please like, share, subscribe, and hey,
keep us going.
Contact us and communicate and give us some feedback. And until next time, the ball then beat it.
Yep. See you next time.
Cheers.
This is Debugged Dialogs.